This paper, The Metaverse and the Metatheatre of Ancient India, focuses on the first third of my research for my thesis, An Odyssey into Stage 3.0, Ancient Liminal Practices in the Virtual Stage. The objective of this paper focuses on the Natyasatra, an ancient Sanskrit dramaturgical text written from 200 BC to 200 CE. Through practice, I seek to understand how the liminal processes of ancient Sanskrit performance can inform the virtual theatre practice of tomorrow. This will be a taste of the Natyasatra. I will choose 3 positions to explore which are attainable. This will not be a virtual replication, but a conversation with the source material. Taking the earliest surviving Sanskrit farce, 7th century Bhagavata Jukam, the courtesan and the ascetic, into the virtual, ideas translated from text engine, from ancient text to game engine. Previous work. As Datu, my artistic pseudonym, I am a mixed reality artist who works with video production, live performance, and VR technology. Previous works have included Absent Audience 2018, a live audio visual performance streamed to YouTube 360, The Forest of the Gods 2019, the seed performance of my current research based on an extract of the Epic of Gilgamesh, although 360 with narrative and interactive elements, but ultimately stationary. And The Death of Polyphemus 2021, a Mozilla Hub's web-based walkable virtual theatre piece, realising Euripides' Cyclops, the earliest surviving Greek satire play, presented in VR, online and live in a gallery through an Oculus headset in October 2021. Liminality. Liminality comes from the Greek limen, meaning threshold. In Arnold van Gennep's French anthropologist book, used the term liminal and transition to describe the middle position of his rites of passage model: separation, transition, reincorporation. St. John 2008. Glaswegian anthropologist Victor Turner developed the concept, focusing on the liminal phase and working with Richard Schechner, editor of the Drama Review, exploring concepts in performance. I find a pattern analogous to initiation rites. A performance involves a separation, a transition, and an incorporation. Schechner, 1985. From this interpretation, Schechner developed the Rasa box exercise, where participants would physically explore the rasas, codified emotional states in a grid. Communitas. When we inhabit liminal spaces together, we create communitas. It is in these spaces that we are open to change. Turner states there is 3 types of communitas: existential or spontaneous, normative or ideological. White, 2013. He describes these spaces as anti-structural and beyond authority, where transitional change is free of the constraints of our reality. The metaverse is one of these unstructured spaces where communitas can be explored. Metaverse and VR chat. In 2021, the Ferryman Collective presented Severance Theory, Welcome to Respite, a VR chat live stream event which won the Rain Dance Immersive Narrative Award. Mike Salmon, Venice Film Festival 2022 producer, said in a Guardian article, within VR chat, you can reach hundreds of thousands of users at a stroke and potentially step into hundreds of thousands of worlds created by others. That's the multiverse right there, he says. It's free and untrammeled. Brooks, 2022. VR chat is a virtual reality social platform where grassroots communities build and develop worlds together. This platform then, at the vanguard of reality building, is apt for Stage 3.0 experimentation. Rasa workshop. For Rasa, the courtesan and the ascetic, my new work, will emphasize workshop rather than performance in response to Schechner's Rasa boxes. Selected participants will engage in 3 points of study discussed later. This will be a space built in Unity game engine with instructions from the Natyasatra and inhabited by parts of the Bhagavata Jukam play, later opening the space to public for further analysis. Stage 3.0 and the third place. Initially, I coined the concept of Stage 3.0 to describe the future stage in technological progression. Initially, I failed to recognize that culture inhabits technology, including recent social progressive upheaval. On realization of this, I shift the term to include a progressive rigor. In the location of culture, Homi Bhabha states, we have by now learned that this appeal to a thirdness in the structure of dialectical thought is an acknowledgement of the disjunctive cultural signs of these postmodern times. Inability to move beyond the binary dialectic of inside and outside, base and superstructure, Bhabha, 1994. From this, I have come to understand I'm unable to escape the framing of my work, just as anyone is unable to change the colour of their skin. In the 2016 paper, Decolonizing Immersion, Ryona Mitra says, I am proposing that it can be experienced as multiple, interculturally specific manifestations that coexist in parallel to each other, Mitra 2016. Brahma created a fifth Veda entitled Nadia for the benefit of all classes of people, Lockwood and Batt 2005. The metaverse is already that third place where people of all castes come together, abandoning themselves and indulging in avatars and created worlds, anonymity and newness allowing this third place to be embraced. 3 positions. Gift from Brahma. The metaverse is a gift from Brahma. What we think of as theatre across the globe in many cases has sprung from religious ceremony and festival, as discussed by Turner's 1982 book From Ritual to Theatre. In the Natyasatra, Brahma gives us the liminal space and created theatre. I suggest it not only delivers the creation story of theatre, but the passing of the knowledge of the liminal. By splitting performance from religion, we are free to use it to understand and learn about earthly and heavenly concepts. Brahma says, I have created the Natya Veda to show good and bad actions and feelings of both the gods and yourselves. It is the representation of, the ways of, the entire 3 worlds, and not only of the gods and yourselves. Rangacharya, 1996. What is virtual reality but a continuation of that same space, constructed narratives and artistic representations? By synthesizing reality, we have changed our perceptions, expanding what theatre means. This paper doesn't follow Hinduism. This then is a supernatural exercise to pin down the materiality of the liminal, using comparative analysis to understand its nature. Metatheatre and the liminal. Metatheatre is liminal theatre, a theatre concerned with its own transition. If one were to ask what digital theatre is, one would point to the prominent use of digitality. Here I point to the use of liminality. Richard Hornby, in his book Drama, Metadrama and Perception, 1986, described 5 subcategories of metadrama: existential concerns, a play within a play; social concerns, ceremony within a play; individual concerns, role-playing within a role; literary and real-life reference; and self-reference, Armstrong, 1987. These devices are described in the Natyasatra. This transition from direct address in the Nandi benediction to in direct reference in the Prastavana prologue, it is part of the art of carrying the audience progressively from the world of everyday reality into the fully dramatic world of the play proper, Lockwood and Batt, 2005. An example in Bhagavata Jakum is spoken about the play from within the play. I've considered the respective dominant rasas of these 10 types, and I see the most important one is the Hasya rasa, which provokes laughter. Therefore, I'm going to put on a farce. Mahendra Marvaman et al. 2005. Rasa. The rasa model found in the Natyasatra is more than the codification of the emotional states on stage. The Natyasatra says because it is enjoyably tasted, it is rasa. Then rasa is not the flavor, the enjoyment in the tasting. Rasa is the cumulative effect of stimulus, voluntary and involuntary actions. Rangacharya, 1996. The transport is within the experience of the rasa. I posit taking the rasa model into VR will further engender the liminal states. Conclusions and predictions.
The historical dialogue of the liminal space and virtual is presented within my work. The comparison between divine theatre and what the virtual inherits can be shown through comparative analysis. The Metatheatre devices of old and their equivalents to VR practice are ripe to be explored. The Metaverse and VR chart are the new third place of virtual communitas. Although the practice of making has started in my work, the workshops have yet to happen and so much is still ahead.